morning, guys. We are on a mission, a rescue mission. It's a cold, sort of wet, late February day, and my wife and my kids have been out marching around with the dog, and they've discovered something just up here, and we have got to come along. We've got to rescue them. These poor little chaps I'm talking about are frogs, common frogs, and this time of year, when it's quite mild, quite damp, here comes the dog. This time of year they're all coming out, they've emerged after hibernation, and their one thing on their mind is to go out and to breed, and so they go back to their ponds where they spawned. But what's happening this time of year is we've got all these floods, and with flood water comes confusion for the poor old frogs. So what my guys have discovered up here is a temporary pool caused by the flood water, and all the frogs, rather than getting to their pond where they were spawned originally, they got confused and they've spawned in this really temporary pool. So what we've got to do is we've got to come along with our trusty bucket. We're going to save them from this temporary pool, which is just going to dry out. We're going to put them back in the pond where they should have spawned in the first place. Let's do it. So here we are at the flood water. Any luck, honey?
Yeah, we found 4 bits.
Really? Oh, brilliant. So you can see, look, this is all flood water. The water's poured off the hillside here. It's come down, it's pulled down here, and the poor old frogs, rather than going over there into their reen and their proper pond where they normally would spawn, they've got confused and they thought this is the spot to spawn. But probably within a couple of days, this pond, well, it's not even a pond at all, this is a bit of a field, will be completely dry again, and the poor old frog spawn is going to dry out. Whereabouts, honey? Oh wow, there's some down there. Beautiful.
There's some over there.
Oh, well done. So we've got some spawn down here. Well done. We've got some down there as well. Brilliant. You got some too, huh?
Yep.
Oh, beauty.
Well,
Oh, there is lots of frog spawn. Lovely. Brilliant. So we're going to pop it in our bucket, and then we'll go and pop it in the reen, shall we? Oh, there's some more down there as well. There's some here too. Look, perfect. See, normally this would be the perfect spot for frogs to spawn. It's a lovely shallow pool, nice and full of vegetation as well for them to tangle their spawn up in. But unfortunately, as this is a temporary one, it's not going to last very long, is it? And it's all just going to dry out and go all crispy, and it'd be a complete waste of spawn. So we're going to pop it over there. So what we want to do is we don't want to use our hands, because our hands potentially are too hot and too dry for the spawn. So we're going to use the bucket to scoop it up. So I do the first piece up. You did so very carefully. Look, it all just beautiful. Look, slops into it. As easy. I'll pour some of the water up. And then up with loads of water. There we are. Perfect. So that's one lot. Right, E, do you want to do the next one? Okay. Very carefully. Place it next to it. That's it. Just scoop it up. That's it. Let it slide in. So I'll give you a little helping hand. There we are. Oh, a little bit more, Scoop it up like you're a big blue whale. Goodness.
Oh, no.
They're a big blue whale. There we are. Oops, Daisy, hang on. There, chaps. That's brilliant. There we are, Speedy. So that's 2. What we'll do is just pour a little bit of the water off, because otherwise, we'll end up with a bucket full of water and not much spawn. There we are. That's it. Next lot, hun.
Okay.
That's it. So look, it's just a great big glutinous mass. So the white bit that you see, the clear bit, that's it, very carefully. Scoop it in there. Oops, Daisy. So that's the thing. This is exactly what frogs want. They want to attach their spawn.
No.
It's all right, hun. There we are. The frogs actually want to attach their spawn onto vegetation, stop it drifting away. But that then doesn't help us when we're trying to do them a favour and help them move it. Right, we get the last one.
Yeah,
Last one's here. That's an absolute whopper, that one, isn't it?
Is it 2 or 1?
I think there's 2 spawns there, so very carefully pop it there and just encourage. You can see, if you look very closely, if I put my hand under it, I'm not touching it, you can see, look, they're not just pure black blobs anymore. Look, they're starting to divide, they're starting to split up a little bit. That means that they are truly fertilised, and they're actually going to become tadpoles. That's really good news. Bro, right, come on, my sweet. There we are. I can't believe I'm talking to Frogspawn. There you go. That's it, scoop it all up. Oh, blimmin' heck. Hang on, that's all right. If I very carefully pop it down, hang on. There we are, and oh, flipping heck. There's a serious amount of frog spawn there.
Yeah,
oh my
it's
goodness.
more than you usually see.
Yeah, there we are, perfect. Frog spawn, that's a serious bucket of frog spawn. Right, we'll go and pop it in that reen, just over there where it's nice and secure. It's nice, stable, still water. And yeah, there shouldn't hopefully be any predators around there. Nice, stable, still water, lots of vegetation. So hopefully the tadpoles will just emerge from this spawn, and they'll swim around and they'll have lots of food, and there'll become millions of frogs. They can colonise this area all over again. Cool. Let's do it, my sweetie. There you go. Do you want to carry the bucket?
Is it heavy?
It is heavy. Nice one. So here's our bucket. And as you can see, the little buds have found a perfect spot. The area just over there in the distance, just over there is where we found it, in the temporary pool. And this is what's known as a reen down here in Somerset. A reen is a ditch, like a drainage ditch or an old little stream. And this is perfect. Let's see all the vegetation. This is great. So we can anchor all the spawn just in it. And hopefully this is going to be a permanent fixture of water rather than just a temporary one. So the little tadpoles can develop in here beautifully. I'm sure it's absolutely teeming with water life, and it should be a wonderful place.
I can loads of water snails.
Oh, can you? Perfect. It was a good sign. So just put them in here. The big thing though whenever we're putting these guys in, is I can't just tip this over the edge and go splosh into the water. Spawn is unbelievably fragile. It's very, very gentle. And if I just poured it in here now, it would shock it and probably kill most of the embryos. So we've got to be really, really careful. So what I do is, oh, what did you see, hon?
There's a whirligig.
A whirligig?
Yep.
Really?
He was
Oh yeah,
up
there
there.
is. A
He's
little
on-
whirligig beetle. Beautiful. Well, he's pretty much dormant this time of year. But we'll leave, so I'm going to pop these chaps just down here, just on the edge of the foliage. So if I place the bucket in, and all I'm going to do is very carefully, just not even going to tip, I'm just going to look and just let it slide out. There it is. And it'll float into the foliage. Can you see?
Yep.
There we are.
Lots of it.
Beautiful. Look, that lovely spawn. Some of it will sink. Most of it's going to stay around here in the foliage. So that is a perfect amount of spawn, isn't it? Some of it will be infertile and gradually it'll go all mouldy. But most of it, hopefully, is going to be fertile. Beautiful. Right. Let's leave them to it. Right, time for bacon sandwiches.